Hello again everyone, this is Totter333, and today I'm going to be showing off a little bit of my level editor that I've been creating for my first-person shooter. So yeah, let's get started. First thing that we've got here is a couple of options. We have create new, select file, and if we select a file we can edit that file. But for now we're just going to make a new one, and I'm going to name it test.save. And when I click on create new, it's going to start us out in this big empty grid. Kind of boring looking. But don't worry, we can fill it up with objects galore. So one of the first types of objects I have are pretty simple. Just your basic box, pretty much. It's just textured. Let's see. Also we have a sandbag, a container. Ooh, here's a fun one. We have a building. So yeah, you can go ahead and add objects, but the neat thing about this is the ability to save the files. So if I just press period, it'll save all of my objects and their positions and everything. So I'm just gonna go back and show you how that works. So now I could go to select file, and I could find test.save, and now it'll let me edit it. And here you see all the objects that I just added. But there are kind of a lot more objects that I could show you, like for instance, or features as well. Like for instance, if I press Control, it will snap the position of this building to the nearest integer, and that way you can line it up pretty much perfectly straight with the grid. But another cool thing is that all of my objects, or at least most of them, are modular. So for instance, I have some bridges, and these bridges just so happen to fit in perfectly with this building. So it's pretty cool, pretty seamless, not hard to do. And so I have a bunch of these different types of objects, and they all seem to work out pretty nicely with each other. Texturing, I'm not the greatest, so I just picked something pretty plain and boring. So yeah. Let's see, what else is there? Alright, also there are some vehicles. Vehicles are fun. I only have two at the moment. Both of these work to a certain extent in the multiplayer. I will be working more on making them more fair as far as gameplay. Like for instance, if you were to hop in this vehicle and someone was shooting at you, if they hit the vehicle, it does you no damage, and it does the vehicle no damage. They have to hit you, which creates a problem when you have vehicles like this. There's not a lot of ways to hit somebody who's in a vehicle like that. So there's some obvious flaws at the moment, but I'll get those kinks worked out later. Let's see, also, there are some weapons. So here we have just a little machine gun model. It's nothing impressive, and the ambient occlusion map is completely screwed up. So yeah, what else do we have? The suppression rifle. Kind of a nifty looking gun. Some of these I have shown in my earlier video, but there's a couple of new ones. So I've got the pistol, nothing too special. I have a shotgun, and the most new addition is the Leviathan. I'm rather proud of this model because I'm not all that great at modeling. Also it has a scope, which is kind of cool. It only works when you are playing the game as a client, but that's besides the point. So yeah. So those are pretty much the main objects. I also have your standard cube. Oh, there we go. And some little ramps and stuff like that. But yeah. So basically the idea is that you'll be able to create this level and play on it later. Of course, before you play on it, you have to add the all-important spawn points. So here's what the spawn points look like. So now, in theory, every time a game is started, or every time a client joins a game, they will spawn here. However, if you were to add multiple of these, it'll pick a random one and spawn them at one of the two, or one of the three. This would be kind of an interesting spawn point to spawn at, mostly because you'd die. But, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics. Got some platforms, railing. Railing's kind of fun. The railing also lines up with the bridges. So I'll show this like this. Oops. So just like that. Lets you create some more interesting surfaces. Like for instance, we could add a platform. And yeah. So you could do a bunch of interesting things with this. I'm hoping that when I do release the blend files and everything, I really hope that people will create their own levels and have a lot of fun with it. And hopefully we'll be able to get some sort of a community for sharing these levels and see what everybody comes up with. There's a couple of really clever things that I've seen some of my friends do already. So I'm hoping that later in time I'll be able to get this out to the Blender community and whoever else wants to see it, and just have fun. So yeah, that's pretty much my level editor. I hope you guys like it. Hope you think it's cool. If you don't, well then you shouldn't be watching this video. So yeah, have a nice day.